So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So I'm holding this grass and this lemon for demonstration purposes because the title of the video is the rings of planet Saturn in Vedic astrology. Now many of you are familiar with the rings around this Saturn. Suppose this is that Saturn planet and this is that ring structure. Okay, this is Saturn and this is the single most planet who is having that ring structure, and then the Saturn is revolving. Okay, there is no any other planet in Vedic astrology. If you look, even Jupiter, Mercury planet, Moon, Sun, so they are not having any that ring structure. Only Saturn is having that extra layer or some addition, and this is that ring structure, and Saturn is inside that rings. Okay, so now what does this ring structure of the Saturn represent? First of all, this is the uniqueness of this planet because no other planet is like it. So if you even look this planet, that looks very unique, like what is that ring around the Saturn that is revolving. So there are going to be many practical significances if you go into specifically physics basis. So there are going to be various like explanations why that rings are formed around this planet Saturn and these kind of things. But let me come to the Vedic astrology standpoint of view. These rings around the Saturn are the representation of boundaries that are present in your life. Now it might be physical boundaries or it may be mental boundaries, or you can consider this thing as a restriction in your life, or that circular environment of the Saturn in which you are operating. It represents you need to operate or abide by certain rules and regulations. Okay, so in the society also you are going to have different set of rules and regulations that are presetted by society. Even all the rules, regulations and even law and order of any country is governed by Saturn, because otherwise, if for example there is not going to be any law, any rules and regulations over there, so there might going to be lot of crime rates over there or different kind of things, because then the people, they will not be able to afraid of anything. And the reason of instilling the fear inside the people by the use of this ring structure. So that is why this Saturn is the planet which is also responsible for the fear part. And as I told you, this is not the outer fear. Okay, I understand government have certain rules and regulations which you need to operate in your life, but there are also going to be lot of mental boundaries that are associated in your life. And these are the self-imposed restrictions which are created by human beings. And when I say self-imposed restrictions, suppose you are earning that much money, it means your mental boundary or limitation is set to that amount. Now if I will tell you, you can earn 10 times more money in the same time frame, it becomes very difficult for you to perceive that thing because you are in a structured environment. If for example you are living in small home, and I will tell you, yes, you have the capacity to live in a very wonderful home or maybe very big environment, so sometime your mind will not be able to perceive that thing. If you are an average person doing average things at average times, so if I will tell you, you are a not average person, you are extraordinary person and you have the capacity to achieve something very big in your life, even success, abundance, prosperity, whatever you wish, you have the capacity to achieve it, but maybe initially you will not be able to pay attention towards that area because this is the structure of Saturn. You can also consider this is the planet of repeat and redundant activity. Repetition is the exact word for this thing. So all the worker class or the labor people that are doing that repeat and redundant activities, suppose there is a one machinist, or that work of that machinist is to press that button again and again. After every 5 seconds he need to press that machine, and then machine is going to do its operation. So it means he is doing that repetition in that job. So that repetition is also governed by Saturn. All of you who are doing a 9-to-5 job, even if you are a school kid watching this video, going to your school, so exactly at 7 o'clock early in the morning your school bus is coming and you need to go to school. So it means there is going to be some structure over there you are going, coming back. So when specifically you grow in your life with the passage of time, and when you are going to hit the maturity age of planet Saturn, that is at the age of 35, or from 35 till 36, this is the transformational year in front of you. Irrespective of which ascendant you are, which zodiac sign you are, where your Saturn is posited in the horoscope, at the age of 35, when this planet will going to start mature, then the maturity of planet Saturn is going to first of all increase the debt boundaries. Okay, so when Saturn is going to increase that boundaries, now this will instill a lot of fear inside you people, because your mind is programmed in only operating in this small circle. Now Saturn is expanding that boundaries, extra layer Saturn is adding. So when that boundaries of Saturn are expanded, now you are going to have the new environment, and because of that new environment, many people, they are afraid of changes. They are very fearful because their mind is not used to that thing. So if you are getting used to something, na, even addictions, like suppose you are an alcoholic person or maybe a smoker. So if you keep on smoking, you are acting as a chain smoker, and suppose immediately one day you want to quit smoking. Okay, it means you need to take some action. Okay, let me quit smoking on the immediate basis. The very within a 6 hours, 8 hours, you will going to find a great urge, like I need to smoke something once again. So that smoking urges is means that Saturn, that repetition is there. So you want to repeat that same task. This is Saturn, and the energy of Saturn is really very strong, very difficult for any human being to resist or gain control, and that is where your willpower comes into play. Willpower mean your efficiency, or even apart from willpower, the understandings of the laws of the nature, how the principles operate, or how actually, if that Saturn is forming that restrictions in my life, what is the better purpose, what is the reason why I'm living the same kind of a life in same kind of environment, or same circumstances are actually happening in my life, why I'm born and brought up in such kind of an environment, and why I will not be able to escape these boundaries. So this is the question many of you will ask, and this is where the Saturn energy will come into play. And there are total 3 aspects of planet Saturn in Vedic astrology: 3rd aspect, 7th aspect, and 10th aspect. All the 3 aspects of planet Saturn, they are acting as a escape route in front of you. Like if you want to escape from the structure of the Saturn, okay, as I told you, this is very difficult for you, but that 3 aspects of planet Saturn, wherever that Saturn is aspecting in your chart, with its 3rd aspect, 7th aspect, and the 10th aspect, it shows there is going to be some hope, some pathway are there where you can follow either this pathway, 3rd aspect, either this pathway, or either 10th aspect, or either 7th. Or most of the charts, you will find certain connectivity between these 3 aspects as well. Like one is going to channelize after other, other is going to channelize after other. Maybe first aspect is connected with the career, next aspect is connected with the marriage, and next aspect is connected with the children. So you see the connectivity of the aspects. In the similar manner, you can study in your horoscope. First of all, look in which house Saturn is posited. Okay, and that is the area where Saturn is going to restrict a lot. This is the most basic concept, like in whichever house Saturn is posited, these are the areas where you will feel restricted most of the time. If it is posited in your 4th house, it means the place where you exactly born, or your home environment, you will find most of the restrictions. And because of that restrictions in your home environment in the initial stages of your life, as soon as you grow older, you are having that programming, that mental programming in your mind, like you need to do certain things in certain way, going to school, going to college, do this thing, earn certain amount of money, do work in a job, and this kind of a thing. Okay, so you have actually completely processed through certain structure in your life, and this is the structure which is represented by Saturn. Now if you are aware of your own mental energy as well, because there is going to be the concept of free will and destiny. So there are going to be certain choices in every human being life. You have the choice to do good or do bad, either to smoke or not to smoke. Everyone understand smoking is injurious to health, but still most of them are smoking. So that is totally depending upon your mindset. And that is where the trine houses, they are going to play a very important role, because 1st, 5th and 9th house, these are that blessings from the sky which represents whether your intelligence. 5th house is your intelligence, okay. 1st house is supreme intelligence, and 9th house is your bhagya, that is fortune, luck factor. So if your intelligence, 5th house, or your supreme intelligence, if that is supporting you in your life, irrespective of the malefic planetary alignments, you have the capacity to receive the support system into your life. Now when that Saturn is aspecting with that 3 aspects, Saturn is asking you to work towards that 3 areas in your life. Only then I will be able to show you the escape pathway. For example, Saturn is posited in the 5th house. 5th house is your education. Saturn is definitely going to restrict it. Or this is going to be that kind of a planet, even if it is very strongly posited in its own zodiac sign, in the friendly zodiac sign, still Saturn is going to put a lot of restrictions in the 5th house. And your mind will not be able to perceive it. Like, why I am experiencing that restrictions in my life. But as soon as you are mature enough to understand the aspects of Saturn that also work in your chart, now the first, that is the 3rd aspect from the 5th is falling over the 7th house, that is marriage. And that is the exact event of marriage. So it means the event of marriage is the first event which actually have the capacity to trigger, or that have the capacity to actually expand that boundary. So this have the capacity to move out from that repeat and redundant activity. This is going to be a challenging period in front of you, where Saturn is going to demand a lot of things. So a lot of new changes that are going to be happening with the 3rd aspect. Next, 7th aspect is over the 11th house, that is the house of your incoming gains or money. So Saturn is also asking you to channelize that energy over that 11th house, focused towards your goals, your ambitions and your desires. And the last and the 10th aspect of Saturn from the 5th is your 2nd house, that is your family, speech, communication skills. Even 2nd house represents your kutumb, complete family. So as soon as you start focusing over the aspects of the Saturn, in whichever area Saturn is aspecting, you tend to feel complete in your life. On the other hand, if Saturn is, for example, posited in certain other area, for example in the 7th house. Now many of you understand in the 7th house, Saturn have the capacity to actually delay the event of marriage. And yes, Saturn is the planet of delay, so that is going to delay. Now here in the 7th house, Saturn is also giving you permission to work over the 3 areas of the life. With its 3rd aspect, this is aspecting your 9th house. It means Guru have the capacity to save you, or the teachings of Guru is going to be very, very helpful. 9th house is your father. Fatherly teachings are also going to be the escape route in your life. Then this is aspecting your Lagna, that is your 1st house. It means physical movement. Saturn impact over the Lagna represents some physical movement. You need to take certain actions, relocation, change of place. That is also going to be very, very helpful in your case. And the last and the 10th aspect of Saturn is over the 4th house. That is your family, immediate family. That is your home environment. Certain changes in the home or home environment will also have the capacity to remove that boundaries from your life. But many of the time, these boundaries are not bad actually, because I told you in between Saturn is the protector also. So this have the capacity to protect you from some unwanted events. Suppose you are asking for something like, I need this thing in my life, and you are not receiving that thing. So don't think like that this is your bad luck. I have asked for something or desired for something and I have not received it. It may be there is going to be some greater cause behind that part, and some God energy will going to protect you. For example, if you are desiring for something which is not acceptable for you or which is not good for you, and then you suppose receive it in your life, then you are going to receive more pain in your life rather than not receiving it. Pain is also governed by Saturn. Pain of not receiving something in your life, that is one form of pain. But for example, if you receive it, you have the capacity to experience more pain. That is why Saturn is not going to give you that thing. So Saturn is asking you, okay, stay away from that area. and it totally depend upon your better understanding of this graha. Okay, don't consider this thing as a very dreadful energy, negative energy, or this is a very bad planet. No, this is not at all a bad planet. This is the planet which is going to teach you by creating some structures in your life, and that structures are only for your betterment. If Saturn will fail to put that structure in your life, you tend to become thief. You might going to do lot of things which are not good for the society, because it represents that rules, that regulations. All the policemen in the society, all the government people or government employees that are actually working towards strengthening the law and order, that is Saturn. And if, for example, you are not accepting that law and order of this Saturn, then Saturn is going to give that punishment into your life. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to actually escape that thing. Many individuals that have born and brought up in very small environments, poor environment, and they have become very filthy rich in their life. So it's not like that you are not capable. It totally depends over the willpower. Once again, I repeat, if you are having that willpower, that enthusiasm, that courage inside you, and that is the energy of planet Mars. So the more and more, that is why Saturn and Mars, they don't love each other. They are the worst enemies, because Mars is totally opposite. But channelizing both of these planets' energy in the positive way have the capacity to give you positive result. If your Saturn is running in this direction and if your Mars energy is running in that direction, your whole life is going to be mess. Totally disorganized kind of a sector. Everything which is organized, that is the energy of Saturn along with Mars. So utilizing or finding the connection with this Saturn and Mars, how to actually channelize my energy in that areas with the help of Mars, will eventually help you to become more powerful as a person. So I hope you have gained some deep insights and you love this new perception of Saturn in this video. If you are having any queries, any consultations with regards to your Saturn placement, do let me know. I will try my best to respond you back as soon as possible. Till then, please subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, bye-bye and take care.